Freedom Flowers, people. You're finally getting to see me for the first time here since I've been a truth seeker at the post listening to me. Host of Fight the New World Order, now on Truth Talk News with Howard Nema.
And I am Howard Nema, and very happy to have you here with me, Chris. It's been a long time since we've worked together, and spreading the truth and fighting the New World Order. And I'm just glad that we've had the time to get this together, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Howard. We were somewhere else before, and then all the problems there, and now finally we're coming together.
That's right, and it's a really good time and an important time since all the crazy things going on. And again, let's just make a little clarity to try to get this thing started. I'm broadcasting here from Torrington, Connecticut, and Chris Freedom Flowers is in Montreal, Canada. And we will be doing live broadcasts and giving information out about the dates forthcoming, and we'll have a schedule. But for now, we're going to do some recordings here discussing the New World Order and the current events of the days. What do you think about what's going on in the world right now, Chris?
The world is at a turning point, Howard. I mean, if you take a look at, let's talk about false flags here for a second, We were so used to having the occasional massive false flag like 9/11, and then it would be 7/7, But recently, the past couple of months, has been insane. You got the Benghazi incident. You have the Boston bombing marathon false flag, and yeah, and there's just tons of stuff going on. And I remember about 2 years ago, talking to a guest that I had on a show that I was doing, and we were talking about 2012, end of the world, blah, 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 whatever. But he said something interesting that still resonates with me today, and that the year 2013 will be a tipping point, and that there will be a lot of false flags starting in this year, leading up until when they initiate Project Bluebeam, for instance, which will be the accumulation of all these small little false flags. It's just to scare people into submitting to the New World Order, to the ideology, giving up everything that they have, gun control. Why do you think all these school shootings are going on? It's to take your guns away.
It's no doubt. In fact, I read a passage. I have the book right here. I read a passage from "Behold a Pale Horse," and it said right there from in 1990. That one of the goals was to have school shootings to help to take the guns away. From 1990, that they were going to use the psyop of blowing up, things and shooting children in schoolyards and things of that nature. Club of Rome documents talking about depopulation, and now what are we looking at? We're talking about. This thing's in the media. It's hitting the media right now. You just shared a video recently about Jacques Cousteau, who wants to kill 350. The late Jacques Cousteau wanted to kill 350,000 people a day. He said we need to do it. It's a terrible thing to say, but we need to do it.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the only one. Ted Turner.
Ted Turner. You
all know Ted Turner. I mean, this guy came out publicly and stated that we need a mass. I guess you could say genocide is probably. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not saying this is exactly what he said, but along the lines, basically that we need to cut the population by 80%.
He did,
and a lot of people attribute him as being the one who created the Georgia Guidestone.
And if it's a pretty good comparison considering where it is and considering his power in Atlanta and CNN. And, the Masonic elements are just all over the place. With that whole thing, obviously a Masonic part of the order. I don't know. I've been thinking that a lot of the things that are going on right now, the psyop is just so. What about this psyop with Kokeshs, the guy that's he's the activist who is planning on having a July 4th. March on Washington with loaded guns.
Yeah, that frightens me because that's a psyop, and you know who's also behind that, right?
Who's behind that?
Alex Jones.
Jones.
Knocking the hell out of it. And I don't know. I'm not gonna bust anyone's bubble for following Alex Jones. There is some good information that comes from his website and his researchers. But people have to understand something about Alex Jones. This guy is a show for the New World Order, and the fact that he's promoting people taking their guns, marching on Washington. That's a little, that's a scary scenario in itself right there. Because what do you think's going to happen? People are going to start shooting at each other. They're going to start shooting at cops. They're going to start shooting at politicians, bankers, anybody that they think is New World Order. That's the perfect scenario to take away their guns.
Exactly, and let's stay with this a little bit. I think this will be the segment that I'm gonna we'll focus on. Is I think we hit an important part. It is a psyop to take away the guns. Alex Jones puts up this front, that he's a patriot and all of this, but what he's really doing is exactly playing into their hands. What William Cooper warned about, speaking of William Cooper, what he warned about is that whoever fires that first shot loses, and it's the truth.
Exactly. It is.
And the patriots, if a patriot fires a gun, the people will be behind the government. If the government fires a gun, the people will be behind the people.
Well, yeah, and if the patriots, the so-called patriots or truth seekers, whatever name you want to give them, start, shooting, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to paint the truth seekers, the patriots, as being terrorists on
radical infidels.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, here comes the FEMA camps, people.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a setup. He's like, listen, it's like Alex Jones is like, they're FEMA camps. They're putting barbed wire. They're planning to mass, to put everybody in FEMA camps and take away the guns and everything. He's warning everybody, and meanwhile, he's complicit behind getting everybody wanting it to happen.
Sorry, Howard. Alex Jones is an actor.
Yes,
okay,
he's literally an actor. If you Google his name, it says actor in his byline.
And he was an actor. He does have acting. I don't know if it's an actual degree, but he did, take acting classes. This is out there. You just got to research it.
Yes. You just have to look.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything.
That's a little scary, and he gets more attention than anybody. Like, this short little pudgy guy from Texas, a loud mouth, gets all this attention, all focus.
Well, our mutual friend, Barbara Hartwell,
yeah.
And we got to talk about her. She's unfortunately not doing very well. She's really, I'm going to plug her site. She really could use some donations at this time. Honestly, she's in a bad way. We all have our times of need. And she's Barbara Hartwell. Barbara Hartwell versus CIA.blogspot.com, and her work has been cataloged for almost 20 years in this website. It's an incredible body of work in exposing these criminals like Alex Jones, these shills. But Barbara again pointed this out. That in 2000 I think it was in 2003, she was on a show with Jeremy Floyd on GCN, and Alex Jones pulled the plug on her show right on when she was on the air with him, and he didn't go for that. He ended up quitting. He wouldn't work under those, being censored, because she knows the truth. She knows the truth, and she came out recently on air, so I can expose this again. I can mention it. And came out is that Alex Jones is basically a CIA family. That came out on record last week. Did you know about that, Chris? That came out to the mainstream news.
I've been hearing about it.
CIA.
Yeah, I've been.
She now has come on record saying that with her experience being an intelligence agent for 30 years, counterintelligence agent, that she's had her suspicions, and now this is certainly clarifying any doubt that anyone might have that he is not an agent for the CIA. He is.
Oh, I can recall a time, Howard, about 2 years ago, and a lot of people are going to remember this, okay? Because this upset a lot of people. When Alex Jones proclaimed on his show, right, that he's got breaking news that would basically shake the foundations of the truth-seeking world and society in general. And it reached Coast to Coast AM and George Noory, okay? So George Noory had him on the show to break the news. You know what the news was? A list of questions that he gave Charlie Sheen to ask President Obama. That was the news. And everybody was so upset. Even George Norrie himself criticized Alex Jones live on there. Like, what is this? You don't get everybody hyped up and then come out with something so stupid like this, you know?
Right.
And again, I'm paraphrasing, you know, but I mean, that's that was the attitude that George Norrie took with Alex Jones. And it just infuriated a lot of people because, I mean, why come out here and say that you got this breaking news? Everyone's thinking, oh my God, he's going to break something massive, you know, like...
well, that's the whole psyop, the whole,
yeah.
his, I'll intersperse some cuts of this. This is great. I've got, like when he was talking about the end of the what was it? Excuse me, I'm going to have to cut this. The millennium. He was telling that the Russians were attacking, they were blowing up nuclear power plants and all this ridiculous to get everybody incited again, to get him to give the reason for martial law. He's pushing for this martial law thing instead, and everybody thinks that he's against it.
Exactly. And you know another thing too, since we're on the Alex Jones topic, and I'm not going to go off topic.
Stay on it because we hit it.
Yeah. Alex Jones, his grandfather, was the Grand Master of a lodge. I don't remember which lodge it was, but it was in Texas. Okay, he was the founding father of that lodge, and you can Google it, and it will tell you. Okay, and that's for the people out there who are Alex Jones fans. Now,
well, look, like I said, twice this has happened. Chris, yeah, twice this has happened to me because I had, you know, you had known about. Before I had interviewed Anthony Hilder. Before I interviewed Anthony Hilder, you were planning to interview him to expose him and this free stink people threw you know, put you off the air.
Yeah.
Right? And
I had the interview. Pardon me, Howard. I had the interview with Anthony J. Hilder. I had it.
Right.
And my goal was not to promote Frankenfish. My goal was not to promote any of his work. My goal was to expose him.
But I didn't know that, Chris, and I thought he was a good guy at the time. And then I did a show with him, and Sherry Kane and Len Horowitz called in, exposed him on air, freaked me out on the whole thing, woke me up to that whole thing.
Yeah.
That he's too is in the CIA and is a CIA asset, and clearly is working for the Cointelpro. So
for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And that was an expose that they did, and I had them on the air many times. We're good close friends to this day, and what I see here is this huge psyop with this gun thing, you know, marching on Washington, and there's people in Washington saying we're going to arrest you, and they're gonna have reasons. You're going to get some fired up rednecks or somebody going over there just with too much liquor in them or something wrong. You're asking for trouble. Even if they're all law-abiding citizens, you're still asking for trouble.
And innocent people are going to be caught in a crossfire.
Most likely, because you can't do something like that and expect it to be. I mean, I understand the concept, and if it was true that everybody thought like you and me, Chris, and we went there with our rifles and we just stood there and did the right thing, you know. But you cannot show this force against the government when the force could never even. I mean, it's so symbolic. It's a joke. God forbid they clamp down. Everybody's, you know, come on. You're dealing with whatever weapons the American people have versus the American military, or worse, a foreign military which is already here and ready for this, which we all know about, right?
Privatized security.
Privatized security. Black ops people, mercs, yeah, thousands and thousands of them, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware of this.
The New World Order now on Truth Talk News with Howard Nema.
And I am Howard Nema, and very happy to have you here with me, Chris. It's been a long time since we've worked together, and you know, spreading the truth and fighting the New World Order, and I'm just glad that we've had the time to get this together, man. You know?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Howard. You know, we were somewhere else before, and then all the problems there, and now finally we're coming together.
That's right.
You know, and there's just tons of stuff going on. And you know, I about 2 years ago talking to a guest that I had on a show that I was doing, and we were talking about 2012, end of the world, blah, 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 whatever. But he said something interesting that still resonates with me today, and that the year 2013 will be a tipping point, and that there will be a lot of false flags starting in this year, leading up until when they initiate Project Bluebeam, for instance.
Right, and it's a really good time and an important time since all the crazy things going on. And again, let's just make a little clarity to try to get this thing started. I'm broadcasting here from Torrington, Connecticut, and Chris Freedom Flowers is in Montreal, Canada, and we will be doing live broadcasts and giving information out about the dates forthcoming, and we'll have a schedule. But for now, we're going to do some recordings here discussing the New World Order and the current events of the days. What do you think about what's going on in the world right now, Chris?
The world is at a turning point, Howard. I mean, if you take a look at, let's talk about false flags here for a second, We were so used to having the occasional massive false flag like 9/11, and then it would be 7/7. But recently, the past couple of months has been insane. You got the Benghazi incident, you have the Boston bombing marathon false flag, and yeah. Freedom Flowers, people. You're finally getting to see me for the first time here since I've been a truth seeker as opposed to just listening to me. Host of Fight